We came here to grow. We came here to evolve. The more that you cling, the more that you're just expressing fear. I'm afraid to let go. There's so many gifts every single day to capture. What are some of the things that you're holding on to that are taking up really valuable fucking space inside of you? You're not here to be static. You're not here to play small. You're not here to live some fear-based life. You're here to be brave. You're here to be whole. You're here to be you. Real talk, real wisdom. All heart, all in. This is The Roxanne Show. Welcome back to The Roxanne Show. I'm in a moment of decision. Listen, I came in here and I have an episode that is ready to go. Conversation around, well, I'll save it because I think I'm going to actually do something that I have been known to do on occasion with this show where I have an episode ready to go, right? Something that I really want to talk about. And then on the way to studio, or sometimes it's even been literally me sitting in studio where I get intercepted basically, or I should say that the episode gets intercepted. And I think I'm going to run with the interception. Something inside of me, it was funny because I was asking Source, because I talk with Source, just on my way here after this started to come through for me, give me a sign. And then I passed this business OKG, and I just read that as OKG, like go for it. So I'm going to go for it. So it was interesting. I was driving normal route to get to studio, and I don't need GPS. I mean, you probably don't need GPS to get to most places that you go to very consistently. And yet we still put on GPS, right? Because accidents, etc. So I'm going the normal route, and all of a sudden my GPS takes me off the normal route and wants me to take a different route, which made it look like I was going to be a little late. So I almost got irritated, almost. But I truly, truly live with this feeling of I am always being guided for my best interest. So, and this is really helpful actually to think about. Let's double click on this moment. As a writer, and I've done a whole episode around this. As a writer, it really helps in life where when you are writing, and there's so many different forms of writing. So this is storytelling essentially. When you're in the middle of a scene, you know that as a writer, the scene doesn't stop there. Or, I mean, I suppose it could, but usually you're writing through a scene, right? There's going to be another scene after that. There's going to be more, essentially. I'll keep it super simple. So, applying this sort of storytelling writer's mindset to my life really helps because there are so many moments where it could look like something's not working out for you, something went wrong, anything of that sort. But if you adopt this mindset of, well, there's another scene to come, there's another page to turn, there's another chapter, however you want to frame it, it softens that moment where it can feel like something's just going wrong for you. There is a Chinese fable, I wish that I just had it memorized fully. That is a perfect example of what I'm sharing, where the one part that I can remember is his son loses his legs in an accident. And all the village people come to him and say, "Oh my gosh, how unfortunate. I'm so sorry." And the father says, "We'll see." And then shortly after that, the military comes and wants and is basically taking young men and putting them in the military and to go off to war. But because his son has no legs, the son doesn't have to go. And it continues, and there's a few ups and downs afterwards, right? But the continuation in the story is the father keeps going, "We'll see," after everything. And that's the point here is when you when you can adopt this mindset where, well, two pieces here. One is the story's not over. There's more to come after. And two, if you can hold this perspective that things are always working in my best interest, they're always working in my favor, even if I don't get it right now, even if it's the hardest thing for me to really believe because this moment, this shit that I'm going through is so incredibly rough. If you can hold to that perspective, man, you're just going to move through life so much more empowered, and you're gonna also be able to have more mastery in your emotions, your psychological skill sets, and that's really valuable. It's really easy to be hijacked by life where something doesn't work out, you meet a challenge, a hard moment, something just really hits you in the wrong way. And all of a sudden, your nervous system, your psychological, everything just gets totally fucking thrown off. It's so easy to become a victim of your circumstances. And I understand that I'm never trying to bypass emotions. Self mastery, a big part of it is first, it's developing such an intimate relationship with your whole self. And it is where you have more mastery of your emotional states. Mastery of your emotional states is not bypassing, it's just discernment to what it's several things really. So you get to discern what's really a truth for you because not every feeling belongs needs to stay, essentially, or is the sort of truth. You could have a feeling that's triggered by something, and then that could start to create a story that isn't necessarily true. And so, mastery of your emotions is creating a sort of separation between you and the feeling, right? And then in that space, you get to do I created a whole framework around this in another episode not that long ago. I'll try and find it and put it in the show notes for you. But to discern that to be discerning, hey, what does this really mean? Is this really a truth for me? Or what do I want to do with this emotion? Do I want this to does this feel good, right, and true for me? Do I want to feel this, respect it, maybe learn something from it, and then just kind of let it move through me? I mean, this is a very small snippet example of having more mastery of your emotional states. And I think it's vital because back to sort of the original part, if we don't do that, it's just easy to get thrown off at several moments of your life. And that's going to create a very messy life that doesn't feel good. And I don't want that for you. So, back on the road with me. So I'm driving the studio. It's a beautiful day outside, gorgeous, Las Vegas, like January, blue skies, sunshine, really cold, windy right now. And so I, I, that, I, ba- I, b- yeah, I passed that moment. I passed that moment where I was almost going to be frustrated. And I just said, fuck it, I trust. So I'm in the I trust part now. Driving, and I'm like, oh, I never really get to drive past the Vegas sign, the famous welcome Vegas. That's cool. And then I'm driving past the airport for private planes, and it's called Maverick. And for those of you who know Maverick is a very important word for me. For those of you who don't know, now you do. And you will know furthermore as you get to know me. This word is part of just my lexicon, but really it's an archetype that I have lived from since I was a little girl. Still a little girl forever. So I thought that was cool, Maverick. And then my music's just at this really great place, like epic song, and then I see this plane coming in. It was this moment where I just go, fuck, you know what? This was so nice just to take a different route. Just to take a different route. I didn't expect it. I certainly was, I wasn't planning on it, and it almost pissed me off, but I let go. I surrendered to the moment. I surrendered and just trusted that I was being guided for my highest and my best. And even if there was nothing more about that detour than just taking in that beautiful scenic moment, that to me was a gift. I mean, of course, I could have been rerouted because there was an accident, or who knows, maybe I would have gotten into an accident had I had stayed on that road. Who knows? But I mean, there could have been a million reasons. But again, even if it was just that moment where I sort of screen grabbed my life, like, this is so beautiful and I love where I live and fuck yeah, Maverick and wow, the music and the plane and this whole. And so I'll pull on that a little bit too to say that sometimes, I mean, these are really the gifts of life. I think it's so easy to get so overwhelmed and so caught up with all of our to-dos and life essentially. I mean, life has no mercy. You know, last night I was finishing a masterpiece of an essay that I'm so proud. I mean, by the time this is out, the essay has already been out on my Substack. For those of you who are not already subscribed to me there, I would love, love, love to invite you into my Substack because it truly is, it's my favorite place online. And I was so committed to finishing this essay last night. And the the hilarious part, and this all connects, watch. How many It wasn't just the essay that I was writing. I was working with multiple clients of mine, helping them build their brands. I was preparing a keynote for a really incredible event that I am going to be attending in Cancun. It's maybe after, I don't know when this episode comes out yet, but anyhow, more on that too. I'll share on that. But I was doing like 5 different things, and that's manifesting generator. We can do this well. It's so easy though to have when your life is so full on, and you could be a parent, you could be whatever your life is. I think it's fair to say at this point that all of our lives are full on. And even if it's just you're not an entrepreneur, you're not a parent, but it's just how it's your inner world, right? That can make life feel so full on too. Having moments where you pause, kind of zoom out from all your to-dos, from what needs to get done, from where you're going, and just kind of look around you, from the eyes of your soul is really what it is. It's there's so many gifts every single day to capture. And I'm so grateful that the eyes to my soul are wide awake and allows me to see moments like that. As an artist, it's very normal for me. Throughout my whole life, I've been able to see things in the ordinary that my eyes see as extraordinary. And that does feel like a gift at this stage of my consciousness and how long I've been on earth to kind of just witness human behavior, because I realize that it's actually not usual. That most, and this is not a judgment, this is observation, but most just go through the motions of life, get so overwhelmed with life that it's really hard to find the extraordinary in the ordinary. But I can tell you right now that if you could start to tune that part of you to to awaken, to look through your soul and to just, even just once a day, try and make it a habit, a practice to zoom out of everything that you've got going on and just let your senses, what are you smelling? What are you feeling? What are your eyes capturing? Turn on all senses. Is there a taste that's lingering in your mouth? Hopefully a good one, you know, but just that brings you into the present moment. And I just thought that it was it was obviously so special, even though it's not unusual for me to have moments like that. But for some reason, that moment literally created this sort of interception where I go, fuck, I think the episode today is about this and there's other things as well. And just really kind of bringing you into the moment with me. I promise I will record the episode that I came in to record, but I want to go back to my essay last night. This was like, man, over the holiday break, one of the things that was so necessary for me that I prioritized above everything, which had me making last minute decisions that weren't easy, but felt very necessary. The thing that I needed and craved the most was just space. Space. Space to move slow. No obligations. Don't need to be there, have to be here. No deadlines. No, nothing. Just space. I gave it to myself, gratefully. And gosh, I'm so happy I did. Not only because I think this is so important. It's really easy to bypass our needs. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, no. I wish I could. It's like, mhm, okay. But the more connected you are with yourself, with your nervous system, when something in the case for me, it was I kept hearing myself say, "I really need space. I really need space." And I'm paying attention to that because if I continue to say something, then that is really a signal for me. Hey, pay attention, pay attention. I'll tell you, because what could go wrong when a person doesn't pay attention to what their body is saying, to what, these kind of signals? Well, it's what I call a Mack truck moment can happen. A Mack truck, like you get hit by a Mack truck. Something really extreme and potentially life altering comes in because you didn't listen. You didn't give yourself what you actually needed. And that can look different, obviously, for everybody. But, you know, for me in this during the break, it was give yourself space because I had just come off such a heavy duty year, which was absolutely fucking epic. And I knew that at the very start of the new year, it was go time. Like it or not, what's set up for me just in January alone, but everything that's coming through the year, I needed that space to rest, to restore, to recalibrate, and to restructure a lot of things that matter to me. My Substack is one of those things where I just wanted to sort of reapproach it in some ways that bring a certain level of inspiration that I fucking crave and love to create from. And I did it. And I'm so grateful because last night when I like to be done with my work by, 5:30 for sure. I mean, obviously every day is going to look different, but I'm not one of those, burn the midnight oil. No, sleep is important and I respect it and I have strong boundaries around my evenings. Of course, there are late nights at times, but I don't wear a badge of honor like I worked until 4 in the morning. No, not my life. So anyways, it's several hours after sunset. My shoulders are up here. They felt like fucking earrings. It was so heavy. But man, I was in such a deep flow state with this particular essay, which is really like a pilot for a season that is now my Substack. So the posts that come out that I'm writing about, they really serve more like an episode. And it was cool because it's what I decided to do is to really bring you into in real time what it actually looks like behind the scenes of a serial entrepreneur, of a very high performing woman, and of someone who really lives what I speak. Nothing I come out here and share on the show or in my writing is something I think I should be saying, or if I do this, then it will get me that. I don't roll like that. That's not who I am. Everything has been lived, has been metabolized, is something that I actually implement and use in my life. Any framework that I come out and share, that's my framework. I've created that, and I've created this IP through true living. Like, I've lived everything so deeply, and I've taken a lot of battles and bruising to, and deep even the battles that I've especially the inner battles that I've faced and that I've conquered to be able to distill the wisdom, the frameworks, even the strategies and tactics that I come out here and I share. So I say that I think I'm excited to bring you in closer to the bits and the pieces of how it really all goes down for me. When you have a ecosystem, a portfolio career, which is essentially my career. There's multiple things. We have the show, we have Substack, we have books, we have speaking, we have, different things. It's a lot. It's a lot. And the pressure is real. And pressure is not a dirty word to me. It can be, but it depends on the perspective. Moments where I can feel very overwhelmed, I like to ask myself, are you overwhelmed truly? Or have you just not gotten clear enough on what's really a priority? And probably the most important part about that question is where I ask it from. I ask it from genuine curiosity, not from judgment. I'm not putting myself down, like pointing a finger. Is it really this way? No, I'm genuinely curious. Hey, are you really overwhelmed right now, Rox? Or do you need to sit down and just think a little bit more about what's ultimately most important right now? So there's a question for you. You might be in a state of overwhelm. Is it really that? Or is it that you don't have crispier priorities in place? And if you need to get sharper with your priorities, I mean, that's why this question is beautiful, because it takes away this energy that essentially will really throw you off your game. Being overwhelmed and essentially not having the capacity for your life and for what's important will throw you under the bus every fucking time. So we don't want that, right? We always want to be increasing our capacity to create, to navigate challenges, and to receive. It's really important. Increasing our capacity to receive. That's another reason why making space was so important for me over the holiday break. Mm. I am very particular, period. I'm very particular about my living environment. So my homes are very spacious, not necessarily because of square footage as much as it's because I don't like a lot of things. I like very specific things that there's a lot of intention. Everything in my home is there because it's serving a very intentional purpose. Literally everything. Done a podcast episode around that as well, a 5-step framework to help you filter essentially your space, know what stays and what goes. But going back to making space to receive, everyone wants to receive more, but ask yourself the question, do you have the capacity, the space to actually receive it? And that's not just something in the external world, but especially the internal. Our internal world absolutely impacts our external. In every way that you want to look at that statement, it is true. It's my quote, the inner shapes the outer. If you're congested inside, if there's just a shit ton of traffic jams, you're not going to be able to receive more, receive anything that you want to receive. You might receive some more frustration, some more experiences that provide more resistance because that's the frequency that you're emitting. But you're not going to call in more abundance when it's just a mess inside. It's a shitstorm. It's a traffic jam. We need to create space. This is why honoring your wellness, your well-being is so vital too. And it's deeper than that, of course, always with me. But what are some of the things that you're holding on to? Beliefs, scripts, narratives, memories that are taking up really valuable fucking space inside of you and therefore not allowing what will help you thrive in your life, what helps you feel good, what fills you up. It's taking that space. Like, what is that stuff that you need to let go of? I have to tell you, I I really have come to this belief that one of my superpowers is my ability to let go, to let go. It could be anything. When I know it's time to make a move, I move. I'm not inconsiderate. I'm very, listen, devotion is my fucking love language. And I trust myself so deeply. And this is what I want for you. This is the core premise of all of my work is to help you get into this relationship with yourself where you truly trust yourself so that you can make those moves when it's time to make them. You know when the fuck to let go. I don't care if it's a piece of clothes hanging in your closet or if it's a relationship that just isn't for you anymore. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I don't sell easy. I sell you on the power of you and that you are capable. And I know in my own life, I mean, this has become such a habit of mine. I don't even know if maybe habit's not the right word, but, I was in my garage making space. It's already pretty organized, but I wanted to just go in there and touch it. And there's always things you can get rid of, right? And I was doing that over the break. And it's crazy because I had this one final makeup kit. So for those of you who don't know, the larger part of my career life, which I've been retired for years now, but I was a celebrity makeup artist. And I had already gone through, I mean, years ago, and I was moving out of a house that I had lived in for years. My garage in this home was legit like a Sephora. Crazy. I had walls of makeup. And I mean, I got to that place in my career where brands were just sending me just everything. And it was amazing, especially when you start from rock bottom. I mean, I literally crawled from the bottom to the very top, which is so rad. And I'm so grateful that I can say that. So I remember what a big deal it was just to get a free lipstick from a brand. And now I'm moving and, that's not my career anymore. And it's just, the makeup goes bad. It was like whole, and I'm talking from brands like Chanel, like NARS. I mean, brands. And I had to throw all of it away. I just threw it away. And I felt that. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy then. And then fast forward to, over the break, I'm in my garage and I had this one final kit that I'd kept for very special clients for very special jobs. So as I was transitioning and stepping out of it, there would still be some, hey, can you, come? I got this red carpet, or can you come to Milan, or just with me, Fashion Week, or very, very specific clients and jobs. So it was this final kit, and I haven't actually opened it and used it for years at this point. And I looked, and there's pieces, there's product in there that I call my secret weapons, because these were the ones that came with me everywhere. Any job, didn't matter, it's fucking there. And I'm looking at I'm about to throw these away. And it's so funny because I am retired. I have not, it's 2026 now. I officially, it's been 6 years. That's a decent amount of time. And still, I'm looking at this powder and this concealer that, bronzer, and these are the Michael Jordan in my kit, right? And I'm like, but and I felt the love, and I felt the nostalgia. I felt the respect, really, for my entire fucking career and everything that went into building that career. And it was so much. I mean, I literally lived different lives in the span of that entire career. And there's your trash and the product, and I love you, thank you, bye. Love you, thank you, bye. I know this sounds so funny. Keep the powder because it's nostalgic, like, oh, I can't, like, because I know there's a lot of people who really have a hard time with change, really have a hard time letting shit go. And I just want to encourage you to start, if that is you, to just start thinking about what it will feel like to repattern yourself from that, to start to be okay with letting go of things, to be okay with re-scripting a narrative that has been informing you about who you are in a very disempowered way. Or it could be letting go of that piece of furniture that is ripped and doesn't look good and doesn't feel good, but I don't know, maybe someone you love gave it to you and they're not here anymore, but it's okay. You can let it go. You can let it go. Letting go of physical things doesn't mean that you don't love it or respect it. It just means that physical things, including yourself, all have an expiration date, essentially, right? But that doesn't mean the meaning does, you know? And all the internal stuff that we need to let go of, I mean, that's what we came here to do. We came here to grow. We came here to evolve. Look at the trees outside. Right now for me, they look like skeletons. They're beautiful. They have no leaves. They're in the process of growth. The current stage of their growth is death. It's letting go, right? They let go of all their beautiful leaves so that the new ones can come. We are nature. It's so easy to forget that. We think we're superior. No, we're not. It's a symbiotic relationship. We are nature. And your soul, you don't have to adopt this belief. I'm never trying to push what I believe. I'm just sharing that our souls came here to evolve. And the more that we suffocate our soul, our authentic expression that came here to experience life so that we can experience ourself and to evolve ourself, move from the lowercase to the higher case s, lowercase, to move into your higher expressions of yourself. That's why in my writing, I more often than not, I'll capitalize the S because I'm always referring to, or usually in my writing, anyways, the higher self, right? And so letting go and being able to do that more fluidly is how we can allow ourselves to truly experience not only the truth of who we are, but who we're becoming, and a life that is evolving, allowing us to thrive more within it. Because clinging is really a fear based move. The more that you cling, the more that you're just expressing fear. I'm afraid to let go. And I say that with absolute empathy because I understand how difficult it could be to let go, whether it's something physical or something that you've held on to inside for a very long time. Even it's wild, the psychology behind this, but this is real that there could be negative habits that you have that make you feel safe because they're familiar to you. So even those habits, it's easier for you to keep to them than to let them go and to develop new habits because in that you're going to have to change, right? So to let go of those habits and to create new ones, you're going to have to change. And that change is uncertain. You don't know that change. You don't know what's on the other side of that change. But you know this. And even if this isn't feeling good, whatever this is, whatever habit, it could be anything that isn't really serving you, but it's comfortable because it's familiar. And so it takes guts to let go and to allow yourself to grow and to meet new parts of yourself. And in that, you meet new aspects of your life. I say, fucking go for it because that's what you came here to do. You're not here to be static. You're not here to play small. You're not here to live some fear based life. You're here to be brave. You're here to be whole. You're here to be you. I'm going to stop now. That felt like the right moment to end this. So, isn't it amazing how a little detour for my GPS just completely, well, essentially produced this episode? Go GPS. I'd love to hear any thoughts, takeaways, questions, anything that you have for me. Spotify, leave a comment. YouTube, you know where to do it down below. I'd love to meet you in my Substack. Honestly, I'm telling you right now, I mean, you might already be in there. It's so wonderful in there. I love it. I run 4 30-day writing challenges a year, my Heart Alchemy writing challenges, and these challenges are truly life changing. And that's not my marketing language. That's lived proof. I have those receipts from everyone who's been doing those challenges. So I'd love to facilitate the challenge for you. All the information is in the show notes. And I just had another thought that came to me about an interception. But you know what? I'm going to save that for my Substack. I'll see you guys on the next one.